In the last episode, we were talking about sex and this female owned pornographic media company. Apologies because I mentioned the wrong name. In the last episode, I called the brand Velasio instead. The company's name is Belusa. It's very simple, like Belusa. Even on their Instagram handle is Belusa Co. So, apologies for that. I have to be correct and I have to look up things before I even start recording anything. False information is bad. Anyways, I will leave the name here. It's Belesa, Bellesa. As a human who's been single for 29 years, I've watched porn. Let's just say that. I've watched a lot of porn. And Belesa, the films produced by Belesa in itself are top notch, like literally top notch. Their tagline is Belesa Films, porn for women, and just to the woman, for the woman, made for a woman. And I absolutely appreciate that. We were talking about how porn in general is so male centric, and hence I started looking into porn for women, and I follow this YouTuber who suggested this, and it made sense, and I looked it up, and it was actually, the content is really that good, like really that good. Anyways, the other honorable mention is to this Instagram page. This is one of my recent favorite Instagram page called sorrydad.co. I think sorrydad.co. The page just hits the right classy erotic piece of art. Every single post on their feed is so well thought out and curated, like mashallah, subhanallah, like just chef's kiss, like just it hits the right point for me. Like there is a fine line between classy and crashy and trashy, but they just do it right. Like I love it. I truly love it. I do hope to get my hands on a few of their products. So they do merch and they do like these bath mats and stuff like that. And like Instagram is the first to even like ban, and they had a post that Instagram took down. It was a mat. I understand it was an erotic piece of mat, like they took down the post, and I don't think it was like an offensive post in general, but okay, good to see Instagram policing is there. Anyways, what's up you guys? This is Katbamna Aditi and I'm your host and host Aditi. We talk about anything and everything, and in today's episode we will be talking about confidence, sexy bodies, dating online, and hopefully more if we get time. In the last episode, we were actually talking about thong, that dhage wali chaddi, yes, and how my house help came across it and questioned my poor choice in undergarment in general. Topic of thong just got me into googling thong ka history, and turns out, of course, it was sort of very first piece of cloth ever worn by men because of high heat, high humidity region. And if they were to walk and go outside, I think that area, the crotch area, groin area, would be the first to hit the heat, I guess. So it made sense that they used leaves and cloth and things just to hide down there. It made sense. Evolution wise, it made sense. Yeah, this got me into even thinking more about what did women wear. Like nothing. I mean, we are talking about pre-evolution, or maybe just the start of human evolution. Like we were hairy beasts and we never had to wear clothes because hairs pretty much protected us and covered us, and there's no other way. Like evolution ही नहीं हुआ था, तो how did we not have any such sort of notion of shame, or like ye body part bataya to this is awful, or like we did not have that. Everything was like whatever one person wore, everybody wore the same thing, and it was nothing basically. And we just started, like as we started to walk on 2 feet and like started to shed hair, and everything was like, everything was not too exposed. Like, my question is, when did nudity start to be sexualized in a way? Like, body hair acceptance in itself is a whole different topic, which I will bank for now. But like, when was nudity in itself started to be sexualized? Like, everybody, when you think about it, like, even evolution, maybe, if you think about it, everybody was nude. There was no such thing as piece of cloth, and if there was, it was just to cover a downstairs area because of the heat and humidity, which totally makes sense if you are hunting or gathering food. But then nobody wore clothes, so whatever you saw was like, nobody had clothes. And so I started digging into how, when was, like, not wearing clothes became very sexual. Like, yeah, I was actually reading this article about Indian women not wearing blouses under sari. Not wearing blouse was sexualized by the colonizers, because if I look back at women wearing saris, a lot of them did not wear blouses under the sari. That's so interesting. Like that's just beyond interesting for me, because India is vast and huge, and like, we have so many states, and every state may women wore a different sort of sari or an outfit. And I think sari usually was not worn with a blouse at all, which in today's world is very unsettling to me in general. Not wearing a blouse, not having that kind of support, but they did not wear it. That is so interesting. And then I read more about it. Yes, that's what I've started doing. Like, even even before recording a podcast, I got to do my research, and before even throwing information at you, I came across this BBC article where this fashion historian dug up into the archives and pulled out pictures of women coming from different parts of India wearing a blouse was never a necessity. That's what she sort of concluded. Like, people just did what was convenient to them. How convenient is that? Like, just how convenient, how easy is that? Like, now suddenly everything is very sexual and sexualized. Like, I know we are like sort of going off topic, but why not? Like, if we are going that way, why not? Like, I'm quoting the following from BBC News about blouse. This article, by the way, takes us all the way back to Chandragupta Maurya and Sangha period. That's like 300-ish BC. Quoting the following about the blouse. It was Jananandini Devi, the wife of Satyendranath Tagore, brother of the famous Bengali poet Rabindranath Tagore, who popularized the blouses, jackets, and kameezes and the modern styles of sari today, after she was reportedly refused entry to clubs under the Raj for wearing the sari fabrics over her bare breasts. In Bengal, in Bengal in the Victorian era, some women did not wear blouses under their saris. They went bare-breasted. This did not suit Victorian society, which had its own idea of propriety, and blouses increasingly became the norm. The term blouse and petticoat, both English, made the leap into Indian vocabulary in the Victorian era. That's all, folks. In short, we were westernized from the time we were colonized, and that's very interesting to even learn more about, because just wearing lingerie and wearing blouses was never our thing. Like, we were there, out there, bare breasted. It was the norm, wearing a sari, and that's that. Like, how freaking cool is that? Like, for the woman who understands the fact ki when you come back home from a long tiring day, the first thing that you remove is your bra, and the relief that you feel, that's another level, So yeah, free the nipple. Hashtag free the nipple, you guys. All right, coming back to the topics. Okay, I guess it was the very, very, very first piece of cloth ever made. Makes sense. Thongs look great on both men and women. For men specifically, it just enhances what they've got, especially if you are, well groomed. Hubba hubba. Okay. When I finally got around to trying it for the first time, I liked what I saw, like my body in general. Just thongs look sexy in general, period. Now it's a whole different thing to see it in social media models and then comparing it to your body. The comparison is a whole different issue in itself. I turned around when I saw the reflection of myself on the mirror. I turned around to check out my butt cheeks, and there it was. Like, the first thing I saw was cellulite, and then I saw was a flat bottom, pancake bottoms. That's what I saw. But then I I was like, it's good, because I stopped for a minute and I started to think about the fact that why am I bashing my own body? Like, I understood that I was comparing myself to these supermodel bodies that are super unreal and unrealistic, and people are now starting to really understand, especially the Gen Z who is currently on social media. They are finally understanding it is not okay, that is not normal body what Kim Kardashian has. It is not normal, that is not real, that is like 1% of the 1% in the world who have that and who've set that as the new norm. But people understand, and I am truly, truly grateful for that. Like, people understand that beauty comes in all shapes and sizes, and thank God people are more accepting of that. Like, there was a, I think, magazine cover. I think it was the Paper magazine. I don't know. Please do not quote me what magazine it was. But Kim had half her bum outside, and she was, I think, the whole focus was her bum. And people got into the conversation of, she's 40, she has so many kids, this does not look great, this does not look good. I did not have any issues with her showing the bum, but I think it just got me into thinking, okay, she got to do what she got to do. She is in that business, fine. But it got me into thinking, when did this become the new normal? Like, when did this, what she's portraying, is okay for me to compare myself to? Like, it is so unreal and unnatural, and I just don't even find that sexy right now. Like, I never compared myself to her or wanting to be her. Like, I would never do that. But of course, comparison to maybe other people on social media, sure, not her, like, not specifically her, but she was the first in the market to make it that norm of that, that sort of hourglass body, and big butt, just in general. And I thought, when did this become normal? Like, when did her body shape, her big butts sort of became normal, and people started, she was sort of a revolutionary. Yeah, it just got me spiraling. Like, it absolutely got me spiraling into a lot of conversations and thought process, to the point where I had to sit down and just understand the feelings in general. Like, what she does, I have great respect for her. I don't think I would be ever able to do that, and that's that. Like, that's how I would leave it. I think it's great to explore, what is out there, because when I saw my butt, my flat pancake bottoms, I wanted to get a Brazilian butt lift done. And I'm not even against surgical options. Like, you do what you gotta do to feel that good. Like, happiness for everybody looks pretty different, and so I'm nobody here to judge, and you are nobody here to judge, unless you have a lot of time and your life is too miserable and you're here to judge my life choices. Then be that's your miserable life. That's that. Like, I've come to a point where I don't care what people think. If it brings me joy, then that's great. That's that. I don't have to please anybody at the end of the day. Anyways, body alteration is a topic in itself that I want to bank, and maybe we could revisit someday. Of course, you can DM me at Aditi, ADITIHIHIHI, and if you want me to talk about a certain topic or touch bases about anything, feel free to slide into my DM. It's always open, my profile is open. Yeah, okay, enough with the shameless plug-in. All right. This thong explanation got me into googling basically like sexy everyday lingerie wear, and the results were like too thin, too boring, too far stretched out, very thin. Like kuch nahi hai market mein, basically kuch nahi. A sexy, well-fitted bra and underwear can raise your confidence level. Well, when I first got my full set of nails done, the feeling that I had, like that I can conquer the world, never felt that strong or powerful. Like I was like a whole different person in itself. This is why, ladies and gentlemen, invest your money wisely. Okay, we are talking about lingerie, right? No one came close to what Rihanna has built with Savage X Fenty. Like the lingerie on her site, chef's kiss, beautiful. Chef's kiss. Like I've even like heard a lot about Skims by Kim Kardashian. The basics are so minimal and so beautiful, but like this, honorable mention to Savage X Fenty, just the lingerie are so beautiful. Oh my god. Either I don't know good lingerie brands in India, or they are there, but like I've not come across it and people use it, or they are just using like cheap websites, and I don't want that. Basically, I want good quality, good material, things that last long, and make me feel confident and sexy, and that's what I want. Like as an entrepreneur myself, I was like, if I were to ever launch a product, any product in India, I want it to be lingerie, like sexy, sultry, seductive, bed breaking, high quality lingerie. I think it aligns well with me being a true Taurian and like loving all things sexual and sensual and luxurious. So eventually, I want to expand into, further body oils and whips and chains and laces and riding crop, and like, you get the gist of it. All of the 50 shades, okay? Okay. Since we are already now, we've talked about thongs, and we've talked about comparing bodies, and we've talked about, lingerie. Let's talk about sexy bodies and the confidence in general. Like, firstly, I think it's more of a sex and sexy bodies. It's more of a state of mind, and it comes with a lot of acceptance. You really, 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 really need to love yourself, your heart, your brain, your goddamn beautiful body to get into that state of sexy. Like, because sexy body is just a subjective term, like beauty. Some may find letter A more beautiful, and some may find letter Z more beautiful. Like, acceptance is the first step. Easier said than done. I know there's a lot of like mental and emotional trauma that might have gone in your life, or you've gone through it, that you might need time to process. But where does this hate stem from is the question that you should be asking, right? Because hate is not something that is taught. It does not even come easy. But the love comes easy. It is there with you, it's inbuilt with you, but you got to really ask, who's put that doubt in your head ki your body is not sexy? Who put that thought in your head ki you should hate your body? Who put that thought? Who put that negative thought? How do you negatively self-talk about your own body that you have to live with for the rest of your 30, 40, 50, 60, 80 years of your life? How can you hate such a huge part of your soul? How can you hate this body? I know acceptance is the very first step, and it is easier said than done. I know that. But you gotta treat yourself the way you want others to treat you, na? Sex भी तो यही हो गया ना कि you gotta really treat yourself. You show by setting example, right? You can only show that by setting good examples and practices for yourself. If you treat yourself, if you get flowers for yourself, you are setting that example कि this is how you treat me, right? This is how I am treated by myself. And so that's how it is. That's how, a lot of acceptance comes. Social media, yes, is partly to be blamed for, and in my case, the other partly reason being not seen enough praises among married couple. As as Indians, we are probably not very vocal about our feelings. Like, सबके love languages are very different. Some people love constant affirmation and touching and hugging, and like there are different forms of it, different forms of praises, sort of. But I've not seen this happen in like married couple. Like, some people are like, no, I will show it to you, I won't talk it through. But I think both are pretty healthy to do. Like, I've not seen couples praise each other enough. And as Indians, we are probably not even very vocal about our feelings. So verbal I love yous and you look beautiful, especially in front of kids, I've never heard this. Like, one of my sibling is married, never heard that. Never heard it among other couples being spoken out loud. So just even love overall becomes hard to accept. And yes, sometimes action speaks louder than words for party A, but party B ka love language is word of affirmation. So the clash. So yeah, the comparison. Social media tells you, okay, this body is called a sexy body and this body is called a fat body. You got to body shame yourself. But again, it's all about, like, you got to accept this is the God gifted body, and it comes with a lot of acceptance. A lot of like internal healing needs to happen if you're bashing yourself currently for what you've got. I tell myself I really, really need to love my brain, body, and heart first. A partner will manifest soon enough. You need to understand your worth, what you deserve. It took me a lot of time to actually accept this God gifted body. Like, soon after the acceptance came the fact that I have to sustain this given body for a long period of time. If you really sit back and think about it, it's like 80 to 90 years. And we don't know, even with the current state of the world, we don't know if we even would be lucky enough to live that long. So just why not take care of it? Why not take care of the body? Like, I knew this. I wanted to imagine myself being in my 70s without being in pain and being active. Like, genuinely, like, taking care of your mental health, physical health, heart. Just, it's a lot. Like, I've seen people, in fact, I will talk about myself having back pain. We are 29, we are 30. 30 में ही back pain चालू हो गए हैं, and it is unreal. Like, back pain, neck pain, idhar udhar se pain, and I could not believe it. And then there was somebody who reached out telling me that wait till you hit your late 30s. I was like, what is going to happen in my late 30s if like my late 20s are this bad? Like, that was like a breaking point for me. Yeah, I started yoga, by the way. So yeah, it's been like entering the third month. Okay, the minute you decide to take care, like, things shift. Genuinely, I truly believe in this. Emotionally, mentally, everything overall shifts. But you gotta really love what you've been given firstly. That glow that I feel internally as well, it's very real. Sexy body starts with just acceptance. You may still be the most flexible person in the room and be a plus size model, or just a person, like a plus size person. Overall, my definition of sexy has changed with time. What is sexy? Sexy is acceptance. Being actually seen for who you are is sexy. Being understood and heard is sexy. Being protective is sexy. Taking care of yourself is sexy. Consent is sexy. That message, text me when you get home, that is sexy. Yeah. My acceptance of my body, came pretty late. Like, I knew if I weigh more than that, more than 80 kilos for me, my body will not be able to handle it. I was 82 when I came back from US to India in 2018, and I was at the worst health shape of my life. Like, the cholesterol level was high. I could not walk for more than 5 minutes. I had fasciitis in my feet. Anyways, I knew what I had to do. I had to start working out 5 days a week. And then that's that. Like, it genuinely changed. So now I also have thyroid, and if you have thyroid, there's no day that goes without you working out. So now I do 5 days a week yoga session, and it's been 2 months now, and I hate it, but I love it. Like, I don't see yoga as a workout. I see it as a bare minimum required movement for your body. It's not excess weightlifting or training or going into the gym. It's just the basic flow and flexibility of the body that I fell in love with. Like, so I take it almost every single day. Also, you know what? Pinterest boards help me envision where I'm going, what I'm doing, what I want for myself. Pinterest is real hot girl shit. I mean, I love the app. Everybody needs to get on it if you're really tired of Instagram. Like, it really helps me envision where I'm going, and I want you all to do that. Like, I'm just grateful that not a lot of people are on Pinterest, and it's still almost the same as it used to be, and I'm so grateful for that. At the end of the day, you guys are like, कहना क्या चाहते हो? Oh my god. Acceptance and love for yourself and your body is the way of achieving that confidence and that sexy body. Yes, acceptance. Work on it. I hope you truly dig through inside and figure out what happened. That's about it, folks. I will be talking more in the next episode. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm truly, truly, truly grateful to every single one of you guys. Suggestions and feedbacks are always welcome. DM me at Aditi, ADITIHIHIHI. This is Katbamna Aditi. Thank you for tuning in. Until next time.